Sometimes I get asked how it is that I became a singer and whether I've had any training. The answers are accidentally and no. When I was a kid, I didn't have any understanding that singing was something that only some people could do well. As far as I knew, it was something anyone could do if they just chose to. I didn't have any particular interest in singing until one day I was, give or take, about 10 years old. It was like someone flipped a switch. I woke up that day singing, and I could not stop singing. It was a compulsion. Day after day after day. It might have been a week or more. If I was awake, I was singing. I could not stop. A couple of my relatives were amazed and expressed that they thought that I was very good. I didn't know what to do with that compliment. Plus, they were my family. What else were they going to say? So I didn't think much of it at the time. A number of years later, I was 18 or 19, and I was listening to a cassette tape of Elvis Presley in concert. He was singing the Del Shannon song, Runaway, and I was singing along with it. Someone heard that, came into the room, and said, "That's really good." I looked at the cassette player and I said, "Yeah, it's Elvis Presley." And he said, "No, you're really good." And again, I didn't know how to take that. I just didn't know what to do with that. And he said, "I'm a music major and I can't sing that well. You are really good." And he went and gathered up some of our buddies and came back and made me put the tape in again and sing along with the song again. And everyone seemed to think that I had something to offer as a singer. Everyone else expressed amazement also. But again, I didn't know how to take that. I didn't think much of it. And not too long after that, I was 19 or 20. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. She was also a music major, and she mentioned that she liked Elton John. And I said he had a song called Harmony that I liked a lot. She wasn't familiar with it, so she asked me to sing a piece of it to her. I sang the chorus, and just this look of wonder came across her face, and she said, "That's really good." And I said, "Yeah, it's a really good chorus. I like that song a lot." And she said, "No, you're really good." Um, so that was now 3 times in life that I had gotten that kind of response. Again, I still didn't know what to do with it. Um, and I just pretty much dismissed it again. And then a few years later, I was 23 years old. I went over to someone's house. A couple of people were in the garage playing guitar and drums, the Johnny Rivers arrangement of Memphis. And one of them asked me if I knew the words, if I could sing that. And I said, "Yeah, I can sing that." So I got on the microphone and with drums and guitar, we performed Memphis. Someone was walking down the alley, heard what we were doing, walked up to the garage and said, "That sounds really good," and asked us if we, would ever play at any kind of function. And I don't remember if it was that fellow or someone else, but somehow we ended up performing in public a couple of times with some additional musicians. And once I sang in public, it's perpetuated itself since then. Um, I became known as someone who could sing a lot of songs and pretty much deliver a set list. There was a group of talented musicians being thrown together to cover some open dates at a local establishment, but none of them could sing. So I was asked to be the singer in that temporary one weekend band. And we did that. It went over well. We ended up playing for months and months because people just kept asking us to do more gigs. And so ever since then, off and on, more at some times, less at some other times, I've been doing local gigs around central Wyoming for a few decades now. Um, I've never had the desire to be the center of attention or where the action is. That's something I've noticed in a lot of other people in the local music scene. I don't have that at all. Um, I don't have to perform music. I have to listen to it. I'm compelled to listen to music, but I don't necessarily have to perform it. I certainly don't have to perform it in public. Probably the biggest incentive to me with doing gigs over the years is that it was a way to pay for equipment. It was like a hobby that paid for itself. So if I wanted an acoustic guitar or a microphone or an amplifier or a PA system, anything that I might want, that was how I paid for it, was in doing gigs. I've never done anything significant outside of central Wyoming, but I've had a lot of fun over the decades, and I've been able to pay for some nice equipment that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to afford. So that's the story of how I became a singer. Later.